Jessica. Hi, hi, hi. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? If you can hear me, can you wave? Hello. Hi guys, good evening and welcome to the chimney. How was your weekend? How are you guys doing? Jamie. Okay, thank God. How are you guys doing? How was your weekend? Oh, I'm seeing a lot of people I know today. Normally I have to go in more. Hello, darling. Okay, so I've always told you people I'm going to go live alone because it's a vlog first before anything else, you know. So today's one of the days I'm supposed to go alone. I was supposed to go live alone on Friday before the hot water incident. So today now I've decided to do it alone, and today we're going to be talking about security. So Kemen, I haven't been feeling well. I'm just recovering, so that's why I haven't been working out. That's my trainer, guys. So, and I'm very consistent. I need to sound that. I have missed you guys too. I'm starting tomorrow, God willing. So yeah, my injury is healing, so now I can wear stuff. You know, Shagun, Tusek, all my people are here. Thank you, and thank God. Thank you. So like I said, today we're going to be talking about security, and you know, are we careful enough, or what is really going on? Like today a lot of people have lost their lives and the lives of their loved ones, not necessarily because they weren't careful, but because they trusted people that they worked with, you know. And that's not necessarily wrong, because I mean, you must, thank you darling, you must have to trust somebody at some point. You know, so they've trusted their domestic staff, their colleagues, trusted so many people, and today a lot of lives are lost. And sometimes it's not just one person, it's a lot of people or your loved ones, you know. So that being said, I like, if you have stories to share about security or domestic staff issues, I'd like you guys to call in, because today is for me and you guys. A lot of people, I would like a lot of people to join today, so you can call in and share your experiences. You know, if you've had terrible experiences with your domestic staff, and if not, if you've actually had good experiences, please, we would like to hear, because we've been hearing terrible stories online so much. So we would like to hear the good sides too, and then if you have bad experiences, we'd like to hear those as well, you know. So I'm going to also be sharing some of my experiences, some that happened even maybe before I was born to my siblings, and some that happened to me personally, you know. So for me, I remember sometime last year, towards the end of last year, this one was funny because my dad actually dreamt about it, you know, and he told me, but he felt it was in my own house. So I went to see my brother, and he wasn't in the country, you know, and his wife wasn't around either. So I was alone in the house. And then I had an event the next evening, if I remember correctly. It was Adams's event, his game event. So I went for the event, and then I came back home, and then normally I'm very paranoid about security, so I went upstairs, downstairs, checked the house, checked all the doors, and everything was intact. I must check, even though I must double check, even though I checked before I left. And then I went to bed. But that night I was so uneasy, like the whole house is locked. I went back, I locked my room again, like with key. I was so uncomfortable that day. So, and then my parents called, you know, that they were back, they had come back. So I was going on Sunday back home to see them, and then I went with just a backpack, like an overnight backpack. And then that was when iPhone 11 came out. So I had my iPhone 11, and I just opened my backpack and I saw that my phone was gone. Nothing missing, nothing unarranged. My room was not ransacked. My phone was just missing. I just called my sister-in-law immediately, and I'm like, something is up. Before I called her, I checked around the house, you know, checked all the rooms, checked all the cupboards, like just to be sure that I brought this phone, you know. And I couldn't find it. So I called her. She came to the house to meet me. Yeah, you remember, she came to the house to meet me, and we started looking. I was still looking from my window downstairs, and I told her there's nothing anybody would tell me. David took this. David is the gate man. David took this thing. And like a couple of months before that, a lot of things have been missing from the house. Like, I mean, a lot. So they had to do change of lock, change of keys. Like, they changed the keys to the front and the back door in the house, you know, just to be on the safe side. And they don't really have anybody. They have a nanny that comes and goes, and then they have just the gate man, you know. So I said it was David. Next thing, 2 guys just came. And then, because my brother put it on the estate group chat, and then they were asking that, am I safe? That they heard what happened, that we really robbed. Was he robbers with guns and all that? We're like, no, but things are missing from the house. Like, how did they get into my house, get into my room? I left the house, I locked the house, and then somebody entered and had this. It means somebody obviously has a key and we don't know, even though we just changed the locks, which was weird. So we did. It wasn't working. This guy wasn't saying the truth. He was calling God, swearing on God, doing all of this. It got so crowded. The place got so crowded. He wasn't agreeing. Next thing, something just told me, call the estate security, tell them to bring out everything in the gate man house. And I called them. I'm like, you guys need to bring out everything in this gate man's house, thinking that they'll see the phone, because I walked into the gate man house, I didn't see anything reasonable, you know. So I told them to bring it. Meanwhile, mind you, this is the same gate man that was with my brother in his former house. And when he lost his job, my brother moved and just felt to call him back, you know, like somebody he knew, and still was helping him and all of that, aside salary and all that. So they checked the gate man house, they didn't see the phone. But guess what? They brought out over 300 items missing from that house. Things have been missing, like baby stuff that he bought for himself and his kids missing, stuff that my sister-in-law bought for herself and kids missing, all these mommy and me things, daddy and me things, everything was missing. Over 300 items. They stole down to perfumes, down to spoons, down to plates, down to baby powder, down to baby oil, down to everything you can think about that can be stolen. And I'm not kidding you. Down to some of the perfumes that they shared at their wedding day that were missing. We saw everything there. Wedding that happened in 2017. And these are people you've been helping. You give them more than their salary. You do stuff for them. Anytime they ask you for stuff, you feed them, even though it's not part of your job. You give them allowance. Sometimes they come and tell you are broke. You drop 20k. Things that you should necessarily not do because you pay them a salary, you know. So when they found those items, I'm just like, God, things I've been looking for since I came to the house that were missing. I was asking the nanny, have you seen this? She'll say no, auntie, I will help you look for it. I haven't seen it, you know. Thank you, Shegun. So at that point in time, the baby was in my sister's place with the nanny, and I'm like, no, this thing, we need to go and call the nanny. So we drove and brought the nanny home. The next day was my dad's birthday, so we were pretending like we wanted to have a surprise party for him and then do it in his house. So we went to bring the nanny to help us go to the market and cook and all of that. And so we came back, and she didn't understand what was going on until we drove into the compound, and she saw the gate man kneeling down. They were trying to beat him and all of that. So she then understood what was going on. Immediately she started begging. I didn't take anything, no, I took only 2 clothes. Next thing she said I took only 6 clothes. Next thing she said I took only this, down to underwear. My people, I'm not even kidding you. Everything you can think about that can be stolen was stolen. Like the heap of stuff that came out. Some people that here that have heard the story, you know, or have seen the story, the heap of things that came out from a gatesman house, I can't even believe that it can be stored there. Now my question was, why were they even storing it? If you stole that much, you should have tried to sell it. I mean, when God wants to act, you can't tell him how to act, because I mean, you always do something that will make people know or catch you. So it wasn't funny. So that being said, we were still looking for the phone. No, we hadn't found the phone. This way, my brother's camera has been missing. Stuff he bought because he travels a lot because of work. Everything he buys for his wife when he travels, but for himself, he won't find. All the perfumes, everything he's been looking for. His wristwatches he's been complaining about, everything was there. Some of my jewelries were there. Some things they bought for her when she was getting married were there. She has never seen. She has been looking for. Some of her sister's things that just came to sleep over or visit were there. Things we've been looking for 2 years, 3 years. So things she bought for him, he has never used, he has never worn, were there. So when I mean over 200 items, I'm not joking. Over 300 rather, yeah. So like little things, big things. And I'm like, what are you doing with cotton boards? What are you doing with coconut oil? What are you doing with all these things? What are you doing with baby shoes, baby clothes? Why are you storing them? Why are you storing them? Have we been ever bad to you? We moved places, we carried you, all of these things. And he couldn't answer the question. He now said it's the nanny, that the nanny just gives him. And in my head, I'm like, okay, you saw what the previous driver did, how he was stealing stuff. We caught him and we found them in this same gateman house. We pardoned you, we pitied you, and we sacked the driver, right? Now, The nanny has come again, and she's telling you to help her keep stuff that she's stealing, right? Why is it only you they're always giving stuff to keep that is stolen? And why must you say yes? What happened to coming to tell your boss that, okay, this girl gave me something, I'm not comfortable with it, if really you're not part of the plan? So that's your excuse holds no water. That's what I felt, or that's what I saw, So eventually the guys that came were still like, you know what, we'll bring out this phone. They dragged him to the back of the house, and next thing I just had to see my phone, and I'm looking, phone that I haven't opened. It was intact. They had opened the phone, the pack of the phone, the nylon of the phone, and all of that, and I'm like, okay. Then we asked him, he started crying that he doesn't know that he was washing, Yes, it does. I feel he had a key, but he was still lying, and they just changed the key, so that was what was seeming impossible. How would we have just changed the locks, and yet he already has a key? You get me? So that being said, the phone came out, and what was the boy saying? Oh, I was washing clothes and I saw the phone in the dog's mouth, and so I decided to collect it from him just to keep it, so that when you come back home, I'll give it to you. Excuse me? Does a dog have hands and legs? How do you see a phone in a dog's mouth? That was what he said. So he gave the police a different story and gave us in the house with the whole crowd a different story. So he kept it in the cooler behind the house, so that when we come back in the morning, he will give us the phone. This thing I'm talking about is happening around 3 p.m. We've been asking you since 12 in the afternoon. You said you have no idea. You didn't remember for 3 hours that you collected the phone, to keep for us. That being said, when we got to the station, the guy said that he didn't know it was a phone. He just saw the dog carrying something, and he was wondering why the dog was dragging line. So he kept it, and he wanted to see what it is, that in the morning he will give it to us. That he doesn't know what it was, that he said he would keep it in the cooler, that in the morning he would check what the dog was dragging. First you said you knew it was a phone. Secondly, you said you did not know it was a phone. What are you really doing? So the nanny's boyfriend came to the station and was making threats, like threatening me. Because after this incident, I kid you not, I still have the text message of my phone. I still getting death threat messages. I will kill you, I'll wipe away you and your family. Messages like that. I don't know who it's from, but I want to believe it's them, because that's the only time I had any issue with anybody, and those are the only things, or the only people that threaten my life. So now we went to the police. They're supposed to settle this issue. They were telling me you shouldn't have been angry, you shouldn't have even tried to do justice. You should have brought them to the station immediately. The same station that by the time we got there the next day, they had bailed them out without telling us. That's Nigeria and Nigerian police for you. So really, you're trying to do your bits, but the system or the government or the system itself, are they even protecting you in any way? Because I report people to you at the police station and tell you some of the items that are still missing, show you the heap that is still missing. You didn't send anybody to my house to investigate. You didn't do anything. You just told them, we'll hold you, beat them, they will confess. You didn't touch them. Apparently the boy said his brother is an officer, so I don't know the connection they did, but they released them on bail before we even got there. And the girl's boyfriend was threatening me in the station in front of everybody, and they were telling me, Madam, relax, he's nothing, he's just angry. That's how trivial it was to them. Like, he's just angry. No matter how angry you are, an angry person can do anything. So why will you threaten me or have the guts to threaten me in a station? You're not afraid that this is the law or authority, and then you're threatening me, and the people that I'm supposed to be taking or be safe with are telling me, don't worry, it's empty threats. I had to demand that he signs an undertaking, and even when signing the undertaking, I had to write what I wanted them to put on the undertaking, because they were taking it too light. Till today they never did anything about the case. They just told me, Madam, next time. Girl even complained that I spoiled her wristwatch while I was trying to find out what happened. They told me to go and replace the watch. So first of all, no matter how careful you are, even when you find out these things and then you take them to the law, can the law do anything for you? Can the system do anything for you? Can justice even be found? Because if police can tell me that somebody is threatening my life, is an empty threat, I should not mind him, is angry. So why am I even going to the police? I don't blame people that do jungle justice, because they know that they won't get any answers from the system, or that the case is going to die before you know it. So why will you bother to even go to the police station at all, if I may ask? So now, that being said, did we do anything wrong by trusting these people? Because it's not like we trusted them and we give them anything meaningful or anything valuable. We give them stuff that are useful, but I'm saying I didn't entrust the key. A lot of people give their nannies or their gate men the house keys, depending on what's happening or who's coming to the house. Everybody had a key. Nobody gave any key to anybody. And the estate is quite a small estate, so it's not the one that somebody knows somebody or a neighbor knows somebody, So what did we do wrong at that point in time? that they had to treat us like that? Did we do anything wrong by treating your gate man like a human being? And I've actually noticed that people that you treat good, especially when it comes to domestic staff, people that you treat like human beings are the ones that turn on you all the time. They're the ones that harm you, try to harm your kids. You know, people that you bring in and treat like, okay, this one is not just my maid or my help. But you see those ones that their bosses are very stern and like, don't sit in my parlor, don't come near me, do this, do that. They somehow always are loyal. Not all the time, because some of them get angry with how maltreated they are and then they retort. But aside that, people that you don't give a lot of love to or a lot of respect to, they always respect you so much. Then the ones that you treat fine, expecting that, okay, this one has my back or this one should be loyal to me, they are never really loyal. And I'm trying to understand why it's always that way, you know, because most people that have been online, we saw a story about a guy who was saying his gate man tried to kill him. I don't know if you guys saw the story. And there's almost no difference, because first of all, I was alone in that house. So it means they could have planned something and have come into the house and I had no idea. They didn't even, and I forgot to mention that when I left the house, he called me to ask me if I'm in the house. And I asked him, why is he asking? He said, because he wants to switch on the generator for me. I said, on a normal day, you don't ask questions. Once they take the light, you switch on the gen. Why are you calling me this time around to ask if the light, like if I need the gen? Immediately he asked me that question, I was uneasy even at the events where I was. Like my spirit just said, no, something is up, you know. So it means that they were probably trying to check or confirm if they can come into the house and stuff like that. You understand? So only God knows what they would have done to me if I was inside the house, if I didn't have that event, because I was supposed to stay there all through that weekend, you know. So only God knows whether it was my life that would have been tampered with or something that would have been done to me that I might not even be here to tell you this story today, all because I had an event that took me out of the house, you know. So it's crazy. Like the guy I was talking about online, what did he do wrong, you know? And then I saw another one online, I think this is a few months old, where someone's houseboy was trying to kill them with sniper. He kept poisoning their food with sniper every single time and nothing happened to them. They didn't even notice. It was the last time he tried to poison them that they were saying, this food tastes funny, it tastes funny. I don't know how they got to speak to the guy or got the guy to confess, but the video was online. And then the guy now confessed and said he has been trying to kill them for a while. People that have been nice to you, people that have been helping. Even at the police station, the gate man was still saying, I can't try to do anything to my Oga. He has been good to me. He gives me things. He's nice to me. So why were you trying to steal from him? Why were you hurting him? Why were you stealing from him for years and you didn't feel like you should tell him? Or that the nanny was evil and you didn't feel like you should tell him? You know, so now I want to know, should you trust your domestic staff generally? Because the truth is, if you don't trust somebody, you almost can't do anything with them. A lot of you are in business or even at work. If you don't trust somebody, you cannot really work with them. So are we supposed to trust people? Like, I want to see your comments on this. Do you trust people? Are you allowed to trust people? Should we trust people? What are your opinions on trust, especially when it comes to domestic staff or workers or colleagues or stuff? Because I don't know how you work without trusting somebody. I don't know how that's going to work. So what do you guys feel? I'm brainy. I'm not understanding what you're typing. Okay, so people are saying do not trust anyone. Someone says you have to trust them somehow. Yes, we had a background check, but I mean, nothing was still done, and they refused to confess fully. So some things are still missing, but we have to let it go and let them go, you know. So yes, so some people are saying trust them somehow. How do you trust someone somehow? Are you trying to say trust them but not completely? If you don't trust someone completely, then you don't trust them. So which one is it? Are we trusting or are we not trusting? That's what I'm trying to understand here. Should you trust them with your life, with your kids, with your valuables, with personal stuff, you know, like I'm saying? Because I know a lot of people that is their domestic staff that do everything. They have the keys to the house, they use their ATMs for them, they go to the bank for them. They have basically every single thing that you like. If they decide that they want to wreck you today, it's only your domestic staff that can do it. And they've been there for years. We don't know if they're planning anything. We don't know if they're trying to do anything. We don't know if they're just loyal. But there are people that trust their domestic staff to that extent, you know. Thank you, Sparkling Tony. So I really trust is a matter of a mindset and how you allow yourself to suit in situations. Okay, I'm trying to understand that. We should keep trusting, but also to be vigilant, because humans' hearts can change at any given time. Very true, very true. You know, so a lot of people change their domestic staff very frequently because of this. So we have people who change every year. We have people who change every 6 months. We have people who change as often as every 3 months. Domestic staff, I fear. When I was little, our nanny locked me in the house and stole all my mom's jewelry. That's happened to my siblings too. She didn't even lock anybody. She just took. Then my mom even need to have raw gold. She took everything, stole all her jewelry. And then whenever my mom cooks, she would just carry the whole pot and pour it inside the gutter and come home and she can't explain. So people had to tell my mom that, you know, this girl keeps taking your food out of the house. She goes to the gutter, to the road and pours it away. Just pure plain wickedness. This was, I don't even think I was born. My mom was giving me the gist. So you meet all sorts of people. So trust me, Miriam, I can really, really relate with you. On second thought, I don't think I could trust them. That's too much access to give. I totally agree. We can trust, but we need to be on guard. That's what I'm trying to say. How do you trust and be on guard? When you are trusting someone, it means that you're supposed to lose guard. So this is so funny, you know. So like I was saying, a lot of people change their staff every year, every 6 months, every 3 months. Some people don't even wait. Once they suspect you, they don't even have to say anything. Like they switch you. So somebody's visiting you today with a different maid. Next 3 weeks she's visiting you with a different maid, you know. So what are your thoughts? Do you think that people should change their domestic staff that frequently? Because the truth is, at the end of 6 months or at the end of 3 months, they are getting to know you to an extent. They are getting to know some things about you, some secrets about you that even if you're not the one that blotted out, somebody that visited you has said, truths about your family, stuff that they need not to know necessarily. So some people don't wait for them to get so much access. Once it's 3 months, 6 months, they switch you again, you know. And I can't blame them, because it helps to keep the staff or they themselves grounded. It helps to keep their secrets too, you know, safe with them. Because I know people that have had drivers for 10 years, people that have had domestic staff for 15 years, some of them even married from their homes and all that. Those people have everything you can think about on the family. So sometimes when you hear stuff leaked or something happened, it's never really far from home. Most times it's not always far from home. Down to rape, like we talked about the last time, it's never really far from home. Sometimes even children, a lot of boy kids have been molested. It was maids or nannies or people that were, you know, living with them, or aunties, stuff like that. So my point is, do you agree that people should change their domestic staff very, very often? And if you agree, how long? After a year? After 3 months? After 6 months? What is your thoughts on that? Do you feel like that is a little solution to this domestic staff craze that is going on now? Do you feel like regulating your staff regularly can help? What do you guys think about that? I need answers. The easiest way for an enemy can get into any household is all this domestic staff. Okay. Never take anyone for granted. Okay. What is we can trust, but we need to be on guard. Okay. So somebody said, I have a friend that said she can never have any domestic staff, any nanny, anything. And I asked her, when you start having kids, what will you do? She said she's not interested, that nothing can make her have a domestic staff. Right now, she has a baby and she does have a domestic staff. And I can't blame her, because a baby is a totally different ball game. Even if you're married for a long time and kids are not in the way, you might be able to do all the chores around the house, no matter how big the house is, and if your husband is willing to help you. But when kids come, it's a totally different ball game, you know. So that being said, do you feel like you should not have domestic staff if it's not necessary? You know, like if there's no need for it, don't have it. If there's need for it, have it. And then if you have it, should you regulate it monthly, yearly, like I asked? Also, you know that a lot of these things that have happened have come from agencies. So Most times before, when you want to get a maid, people just go to an agency and people just go to the village and take a relative or a friend of a relative or a child of a relative or somebody that they can also train and help, and then they come back home. Now we have agencies that do this for them, so this nanny I'm talking about was from an agency. She had a guarantor that signed, so it's not a matter of we don't know her. They signed for her and all of those things. When we called the agency back, the woman was talking trash. Try to call the guarantor, problem. But my point is, the one I saw online that I talked about earlier, the guy got the nanny also from an agency, or rather his gate man from an agency as well. So my question is, which one is now safer? Bringing people you know or bringing people you don't know? Because sometimes the person you don't know might be the best person to help you or do the best work you've ever seen. And the people you know can kill you. Or sometimes the people you know and can trust can help you, and the people you don't know that you're bringing into your home can kill you. So which one is it? We don't even know which one to trust. If you should continue the whole cliche going back to the village to get a maid, or if you should stick to agencies. Because so far I've had so many people talk about this agency problem, and it's becoming too rampant. And I mean not 1 year or 2 years. It's been there for a while. It's becoming too rampant. So what do you guys think? For me, I think I want to ask, do you think that there's something wrong with the agencies? Do you think that it's like a conspiracy of, like, these agencies are conspiring with the people that they're sending out to help them steal or stuff? Because it's not impossible. It's not impossible. Anybody can start today and say, I want to have an agency of helps or maids or people. Just gather people from all around the place that are looking for work, and then you don't know anything about them and you start sending them to people's houses. It's possible, And if they don't have guarantors, you will tell them you can call someone that can help them. I'm sure that's what people are doing. A lot of people are probably doing that. You understand me? So that's a thing as well. It's not impossible. So we need to consider that as well. How sure are we of these agencies? How much guarantee can we give these agencies? Okay, so Natalie is saying something. Let me try and see. Okay, I prefer the one that come in the morning and go. Yes, I was getting to that, and go in the evening. They don't sleep at mine. Miss Money said, changing them work. The truth is that a good person is a good person, a bad person is a bad person. We should only pray to have good ones working. But the point is, majority of people that have become domestic staff are not proving to be nice these days. It's as if just the bad eggs are just coming out and they want to be in your homes. That's the point I'm trying to raise. I'm not saying people are not good. I've known people that have worked with people for 15 years. Some of them have even saved their lives. Some of them have been the ones to rat out on other people that want to hurt them. So my point is, yes, you're right. A good person is a good person. A bad person is a bad person. How do you even know who is good? Because these days everybody's so careful that we don't even know who to trust anymore, or who to give you an opportunity anymore. So how do you now know who is good? How do you filter? How do you know? How can you guarantee that this person is good? I prefer a domestic staff that will come to my house, do the chores and leave the same day. Okay, but I'm going to avoid nanny as much as I can. Okay, no nanny, yo. Okay, so that being said, when and how, somebody was saying that there are good people and there are bad people. So when and how can you determine a good person? Or when and how can you determine when to trust somebody with your home or with your life? How do you know that this person is a good person? Is it from the person's actions or what the person does? Because if it's about that, trust me, the nanny we had was awesome. If it's about actions or how she treats your baby or how she looks or how she behaves or how loyal you think she is. But when they switch up on you, you see a side of them you've never seen before. It's like this. It's not hard, So my point is, what's the determining factor? How do you know that this person is good or bad? Or this person can be trusted or cannot be trusted? Okay, great light music. Go ahead with your questions. Somebody else is trying to. You can ask the questions, yes, please. I don't think I'll have a domestic staff. I have never had, and I don't think I'm ready to get one anytime soon. I just have someone that comes only on Saturdays to help me clean, and I monitor her. Okay, that works. That can work, actually. And that was, or that is the next thing I'm trying to talk about, or I was going to talk about.
Na na na
Yo,
na
hey,
na
good
na na
evening.
na na. How you do, Color TV?
How now? How are
Color
you?
TV International. I'm good. How are you? So
I'm
what happened to your
fine.
nanny?
So,
She ran away?
oh, were you online when I talked about it? No, she didn't run. She just
No,
stole a lot of stuff,
I just.
conspired with the gate man, took over
Whoa,
300 things from the house, stole so much.
whoa,
They had a key, they were switching the key, they were giving each other things. They even used to steal food items, give to each other, but we eventually found out,
whoa.
yeah.
They were using your house to form
So
palliative to people.
they were using my house to do love, oh. Because you can't tell me they're not in love for them to be having that kind of arrangement,
I'm
you know.
telling you.
So,
Whoa.
that being said, what's your take on domestic staff? Do you have domestic staff in the house? If you do, how
I
often do you
do.
switch them, or how often do you regulate them? And do they sleep in, or do they come and go?
Okay, I've had over the years now. I've had close to five domestic staff,
Okay.
um, and the the longest that they've stayed, or yeah, that they've stayed is this. My current one, I've stayed for many years now. She stayed for 4 years.
Oh wow.
Yep, she stayed for 4 years. But the one before that, before this, she
Yeah.
stayed for she stayed for 5 years, and
Wow.
I've had some that came in between, or that came before them that did not last. There was one that did not last 30 minutes. she, she just came into the
Wow.
house. We interviewed her under 20 minutes. She just carried her back. She said, I know fit stay. I know fit stay. I know fit stay. I know fit stay. I said, begin to go right now. I just called the guy. Oh, yeah, carry
Wow.
her and begin to leave now. I don't know why you are uncomfortable. She said, no, no, fit stay. This place, I said, now, Holy Ghost fire the boy. You, they go. Pack your
Oh
load and
yes.
begin to go. Yeah. Then there was another one that came. We took her. We took her to have medical checkup and all that. Brought her
Mm-hmm.
home. She slept overnight. I ensured that I did not sleep that night because I was observing. Slept and she woke
Yeah.
up very early. Arranged her
Yeah.
bag, waiting for us to come out of the room. So, like she
That
said,
she wants to go.
my body not there. I said, good. You know where your bag is, Abby? Go and carry your bag. And she I don't arrange. I said, begin to go. She was not asking for transport fare. I said, transport fare key you there. After we finished paying for
How did you
agent fee
transport
and all
yourself
that,
there?
uh,
Yeah. And
you know,
hospital. No, no, no,
you
no, no,
understand? When
no.
we paid agent fee and pay, and all that. That one left.
Yeah.
Then there was a time we had one that was coming. She will come and do the chores and she will go. She's an elderly
Yeah.
woman. From time to time, we
Mm.
still, call on her. In fact, she was what I even got us this particular one that we have now. And the one
Yeah.
before this one, she was good, well mannered, well behaved, took care of the kids. In fact, we're so comfortable with her. We had already um, registered her for a fashion class or a
Yeah.
fashion school. Yes, she
Mm-hmm.
was going to the fashion school when the kids are off for school and off to school. So
Mm.
before they get back, she's back home and all that. She was doing fine. That one, it was her boyfriend that entered her head. Man destroyed her life. All of a
Oh
sudden,
wow.
we just noticed that every fund, every payment she gets from us, she
Yeah.
she gives to one boy somewhere, and
Oh.
the boy later duped her, and left her for another lady, and she became melancholic, and it started affecting her chores and everything. We want to ask what's happening,
Wow.
what she opened up. But after a while, she said she wants to go and do her business. She wants to
Mm-hmm.
open a trade or something that she has to
Mm.
leave. We said, okay, no problems. We even did send forth for her. So, okay,
Mm.
go, not knowing that she went to another house for another offer. And very smart girl.
These people
She,
are so funny.
these people, my wife would treat them like as if they are her sister.
You'd
You
have no
know,
idea.
she would. I'm telling you, she now went about the owner of the the madam in that house now called my wife because somehow she gave my wife's number to her. This was where I worked, last place I worked. That was how we found out that she was already working. So I said, she said she didn't tell us. She said she was going to. You hear me? All
Are you
right.
there?
Now she didn't stay there up. Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, she didn't stay there up to 2 months. She now carried her load and came back. She's sorry. In Port Harcourt, and we just had our last. We just had our second baby here. He was just like a month old, or no 2 months old, but the job was so important because she was looking for that job, and she had to relocate. I had to move my family to Port Harcourt. It was a very tough year for me. So I was now looking for a nanny that would go with them, and I would be shuttling Lagos, Port Harcourt, and all. So she just came at the nick of time. She just came and said, okay, we just said, no problem, we are forgiving you. Oh, yeah, pack your load. We are going to Port Harcourt. So she was so happy. She went. She went to Port Harcourt because she's used everybody. She's used the kids and all that. So it was not difficult putting her through. Yeah. So they stayed in Port Harcourt for a year, and they came back to Lagos. She got transferred back to Lagos, and the one I was doing off and on, going and coming, the elderly woman, she was the one taking care of me. I mean, when I taking care of me, coming to take care of the house. When I was in Lagos, she would come clean up, cook, go. I mean, buy groceries in the house and go back. So when they came back from Lagos, from Port Harcourt, she now came up with the same story again, that she wants to go and do her business. We said, are you sure?
I said, yes.
It was when I heard tomorrow, I said, baby, time off. This one is okay. Let her go. And she has stayed with us for over 5 years. Let her go.
Yeah.
Let her go. Yeah. So that one, she just left.
But I mean, even that being said, it's actually, that being said, I mean, it's safe to say you had good experiences because she was, even though she had funny stories, when she was with you, she wasn't bad. You know? So it's safe to say, at least for the period she worked with you, she was a good nanny or a good maid.
I have 3 nannies that were fantastic.
That's lovely. A lot of people have not had one. Amakas are good now.
I think Amaka was fantastic.
She has to be fantastic. I would have expected less.
Yeah. We also had what's the name of that nanny that put to bed, that had a baby? Mary, yeah.
You know, was had Mary. Mary was pregnant.
Not be smaller. So when she goes for off, she will now go off. So off leads to off. That's how she got pregnant. But we got to see the guy, because before she came in, she had a child, and she had a child for that same guy. So we got to know the guy. We invited him over, asked him some questions and what he does and all that. So we were into her life, And when she got pregnant, we were like, oh God. So we were even close to taking the baby, taking her and the baby with us and all that, because Mary was a fantastic girl, very, very hardworking and concerned. She has very suspicious eyes. If any visitor comes and that visitor is very mushy, when we see Mary behaving, we know that Mary is very something, we just call her, Mary, what did you say? So I don't like that's your friend. He eats too much. Any small thing, you'll be asking for food.
Oh my God. Oh
You
my
know,
God.
when she was her third eye, she was fantastic. But after the baby, she had to go, and so we had to release
Yeah.
her. You know, and so we got this one now, Glory, and Glory is fantastic. Glory, she's
Oh,
also
that's
she's an
amazing.
angel. Glory has 3 kids. Yeah, she has
Yeah.
3 kids and the mature, but you see how she's at Ishengele, you know, but she's fantastic. She's been with us for like
Oh,
4 years now, and we,
that's
we,
4 years.
we take
Wow.
her like sister. In fact, my mom will come from Worry and buy things for Glory. I mean, she's that close
Yeah.
to the family, you
Mm.
know. So I've had some good
Wow.
experiences
I
though.
mean, thank you, because I was already asking if you've had good experience. I didn't even know it was going to be you that was going to tell me all of these good experiences. So I'm actually really glad that, I mean, everybody is not so bad, because when you have one,
True.
two, and then you're trying to treat them the same way, trying to still be you, be nice, it becomes so difficult, you know.
Yeah.
But and you see people trying to change, people you don't even know trying to change who you are, and then it's a struggle. So
True.
sometimes you're just unhappy or getting depressed, and it's somebody that's brought energy into your house, or somebody you don't even know that is bringing all that negativity, you
Yeah.
know. So good to know that, I mean, there are good people
Yeah.
out there that are coming to work and not looking for what to take, or looking for how to kill you, or looking for, you know what,
Yeah,
let me just
yeah.
do this
We
thing
had
for
like
go,
three.
you
We
know.
had like two before Glory came. Before this last one came in, when we were
And
sampling,
they were
those ones
fantastic.
just keep stealing. They were fantastic
Oh wow.
also. They were just stealing things. They would just go back. Things were just missing. Of course, they would go and hide stuff outside. They one was just giving like this. So this one of the boyfriend. He was just giving the
Yeah.
boyfriend food, giving food stuff.
As in, all my
Until
brother's
mother
cufflinks
now
were
come
missing. I
and say,
was when
what?
I saw the boyfriend, I was waiting to see whether I would see him wearing one of the cufflinks or the chains or the wristwatch. Because what are you stealing it for if it's not for man? You know.
You go and sell
So
it.
yeah.
Crazy. It's
Wow.
crazy experience
Thank you
though.
so much, MC
Yeah.
Abby. Thank you for
You're
sharing your
welcome to you.
experience. We hope
You're welcome.
people have more
Appreciate
good
it.
experiences like this. You know. So I want to take other calls and
Yeah.
hear if other people have
All
other
right.
experiences that are good or bad. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Thank you so.
Fantastic. I'll keep tabs. Thanks.
All right. We'll see. See you. Okay, guys. So, somebody has been telling me that I should pick their call. I'm so sorry. Can you call now? I'm sorry. You can call now. So that was actually a very good experience. I mean, he has had a few bad ones, but the bad ones didn't stay, and they were maybe probably petty thieves. But I mean, he has had like 4 or 5 fantastic ones, and some have stayed for years. So yes, like we said, I'm sure when they first came, he probably didn't know whether I could trust this one or I couldn't trust this one. But the point was, they were given a chance, and then they showed out. They showed how good they could be. And people like this, trust me, you go all out for them like they were your family members. Because sometimes that's. I remember when I was a kid, I used to tell my mom that my maid is going to marry from my to do her wedding. Like I was not more than 10 when I was saying this thing. I remember vividly, and my mom still reminds me. Like I always had that vision. I even used to ask my mom that once we get a maid so that we do her wedding for her and all that. But you know, my mom told me before you were born, I had maids. I never even had one. I had two at a time, and one almost killed your siblings. Two almost killed your siblings, like proper death, so trying to stab, all those kind of things. And then the ones that were stealing, the ones that were doing. So she said, if it's made, the work, don't worry, you will do it. She's not bringing anybody, you know. But that's high experience, and I can't blame her because my sister had some maids, and trust me, some have been good, some have been mad, you know. So for me, I still hope and pray that you can get people that are that good that when you are going all out for them, you're not having a double mind like this thing I'm doing with this person appreciates it or this person turn on me. Because trust me, those things come to your head every now and then, and it will be painful if they actually do it. Let's not act like we're not humans. We're all human. If anybody did that to you, it will hurt you so much, you know. So um I'm trying to when you're free, accept my call. Okay, let me try and call you then. Okay, he's not here. Okay, so if you still have your experiences that you want to share, kindly share your experiences. You know, I have shared mine. Um, Also, we talked about agencies before, and I'm like, so would you still rather go with everything we're seeing happening these days? Would you still rather go to agencies to get domestic staff, or would you rather source for by yourself? And if you're sourcing for by yourself, how are you going to do this? Are you going to start going to people's houses and asking people, I'm looking for maid, or are you going to put adverts on Instagram or on the roads or on billboards, or are you going to go to the village and start asking people, I need a maid? How are you sure of the person you're getting? So are you still trusting agencies? Do you still want to get your domestic staff from agencies? If yes, why? Now that takes me to what Natalie was saying. Natalie was talking about people that come in and go. Yes, I know a couple of my friends that have domestic staff that are not leaving domestic staff. They go and they come. And some of them are just cleaners, some of them are cooks, depending. They cook, stock up, go. Some of them just come clean and go. But the nanny I was talking about, she used to come in the evening, then stay overnight and leave in the morning because we allowed her to go and do her business and all of that. So she resumes in the evening and then leaves in the morning. So, like I said, hello, solo piece. So, like I said, do you think that that's a better option than the people that live in with you? Would you rather have a day domestic staff that comes and goes, or a day nanny that comes, takes care of your baby and goes, or a cook that comes in the morning and then does what he or she has to do and leaves? And then if it's about a nanny, how do you shuffle it? Because most times what parents really need their nannies for is at night, when they can't do all the handling and all the crying and all the taking care of the baby so they can sleep well, because mothers really don't get sleep well for like the first 2-3 years of having a child, so that's what people really always need nanny for. Okay, hold the baby, let me try and sleep. So if you have a day nanny, does it really take out of the work? Does it really do anything for you? Does it really help you? Would you rather the one that comes in the night and leaves in the morning, or would you rather just manage what you have just for safety purposes? Honestly, I believe success for the domestic staff should be some you do personally, so you know how you can trust what they are capable of doing or not. Okay, that being said, Abraham, but I mean, we have had people that we know, their parents know their roots, and they come in and they mess up. And even when you tell their folks or people that they're messing up, it turns to family enmity or problem. So you can, like somebody said, you can never really know a person. A person is good whether you know them or you don't know them. A person is bad whether you know them. That is who they are. You almost can't change them, and you can't bring them into your home hoping to change them. Or okay, I know your parents. If your parents are nice, you'll be nice. You can't guarantee or put your life on that. Now, that being said, I want to say or talk about CCTV. A lot of people have CCTV in their homes. My brother has CCTV in his home. After that experience, he had to get CCTV. Would you say CCTV helps? There is no contact with kids. When they come in the morning, the kids are in school and they are gone before they come back. Okay, Natalie, that being said, it means that you don't even want a nanny when you're pregnant or when you newly have your kid. That's what you're trying to say. Like, you don't want a nanny to hold your kid at all or to touch your kid. So the nanny is going to come when the kids are grown. Is that what you're saying? Like I'm saying, CCTV. Now, a lot of people say that CCTV is the answer to all of this. Now, CCTV works in two ways, or rather, it can be two things. It can either be that you have a CCTV and then you tell whoever you're employing that I have a CCTV in my house. So before you try to think of anything funny, there's a camera watching you, and the camera is going to do stuff, or the camera is going to show us what you're planning. Now, that's going to is one of two things. It's going to make the person either very careful and very observant and make the person not even want to try anything funny, or it's going to make the person be very, very careful as to what they intend to do if, in quotes, they have ulterior motives. Now, it means that the nanny or whoever you employ is going to be very sensitive to the dead spots in the house, so that they know the angles to do stuff. They know where the camera is not getting to, that dead spots and all of those things. So if it's that, when you tell your nanny that you have a camera, is it that the person becomes very careful and plan properly? Now they become extra careful and extra calculative in their plan, or they just die the opinion of harming you. On the other hand, you can decide not to tell your domestic staff that you have a camera and allow the camera to do what it's supposed to do, right? And now when you do that, it's one of two things. Is either you catch the person in the act if you're lucky and you're able to save the situation on time, or you catch the person after the act has been done, which does that really help you because the act has already been done. So you are just, what CCTV is doing at that point in time is helping you to bring the person to book or helping you to get the person so that you can either take actions or measures or whatever. But by then, the act has been done. If you were not home or if you couldn't save the situation or call someone to do something for you. So which would you rather do? Would you rather tell somebody that you're employing that I have CCTV, or would you rather tell somebody that I don't have, or that you don't have cameras? Let the person figure it out themselves. And then if you're telling the person you have cameras, you can also tell the person you have hidden cameras in other places. Forget the ones you're seeing. There are hidden cameras in other places, so that if you feel like, oh, these are where the cameras are, and you can do what you like. No, there are hidden cameras in places that you can't see. So whatever you try to do, as long as it's in this house or in my compound, I will see you. Which you and I know that is not true, except you can actually do that. But which would you rather play with? I don't have camera in my house. Do what you want to do and let me catch you in the act, or let me catch you after you've done it. Or I have a camera in my house and I have hidden cameras all over the place. So whatever you want to do or whatever you're planning to do is your business. Which would you rather be? Somebody says, can I speak on CCTV issues? I am DJ Sleek. Hi, DJ Sleek. MCRB, they might make plans based on the blind spots. Exactly why I said you must be sensitive to the fact that if you tell them you have a camera in your house, they start to make use of the blind spots. So it's a two-way thing. It's not as easy. And Natalie, she said, oh yes, so family will help me when I'm pregnant. But in my first few years, I have sisters. Natalie, your sisters are going to marry and they're going to have their houses and they're going to be busy with business and work. So I mean, how much can they be there for you, or how often can they be there for you? I mean, it's not as easy as we think it is. My friend I was telling you about, I was so sure she was not going to get a nanny. She got married, no nanny. It was where she put to bed and came back to Nigeria that she couldn't take it anymore. When I heard she got a nanny, I didn't even bother asking her, because trust me, I already know the answer. And you can't blame, because these things are not easy to do. We say a lot of things until we give birth. And any mother, I mean, my sisters have done it. My sister, when she had her first baby, throughout the first 2 years, or even 3, no nanny. My sister has her baby now, throughout the first 2 years, no nanny. Any woman that can do that, I give you kudos. You guys are strong. It's not easy taking care of a toddler. It's not even taking care of a baby when the baby's still a baby, when the baby's growing, especially if your husband is a very busy person, and if you yourself are a busy person, you have to quit all that and then take care of the child, and your husband has to help. But it's not easy. So we say a lot of things before we give birth, and when we give birth, we change our minds a lot. Trust me, a lot. We are all scared of nannies. Never tell them you have cameras and watch them carefully. But if you don't tell them you have cameras and we allow them to do something, we will now come and try to save a situation that has already been done. How about that? Let's think about that. So, because at the end of the day, we'll come and catch them when the thing has been done. Maybe when they've done something or killed somebody or harmed your child in one way or the other, or molested your child, then you would have seen it. Because the truth is, if you're a busy person, your eyes cannot be on the camera 24/7, even no matter how much you try. So like I said, if you're lucky, you can catch them in the act. But if you're not lucky and you go back and start to watch what was recorded, you now see that, oh, this person did something here. By then, it's already done. So no matter how, at the end of the day, it's God. Because no matter how much you try to be careful, you cannot be over careful when it comes to these issues. It's so scary, and it's so, when you think about it, you start to have a headache, because trust me, you think of all sorts, but there's always like a one small something that is just off. You can always watch the camera after, yes, temtex or temtem, but at the end of the day, after watching the camera, what then happens? The incident has happened. The thing has happened already. The incident has happened. So how do you save a moment from happening is my point. Because if you want to watch the camera, the thing has happened already. So what if what happened was very, very terrible at the end of the day? And then you go back and you're watching playback of what has happened, or a life that has been lost. What will happen at the end of the day? People act different when no one is watching. Very, very correct. Don't tell them it's CCTV. CCTVs are for safety reasons. Always have a neighbor who is always around on speed dial, or even the police. Neighbor, no. Police, yes. Agencies are out of it. Because most agencies don't carry out checks on these people before allowing them join them. I agree. They don't do anything. I feel like agencies are in on it. Like, they're agencies that build agencies just to dupe people. I agree 100%, because it doesn't make any sense. I agree. I know that you cannot control somebody to, like, totally. As an agent, you do your work, you do your background check, yes, but you can't predict what they go to your house and do. but that's your work. At least 70% of the people that work with you, or 80%, should have good records. But these days, it's almost the other way around. So I know that you cannot predict what everybody will do, but I feel like these days, agencies are employing people to actually go to people's homes, steal, harm, come back, they split it. Each person has their cut. I feel like their agencies built up like that because what's happening don't make any sense. Trust me. So I agree with you on that. Never tell them you have cameras and watch carefully. MTRB, yeah, hidden cameras work. Okay. Loopholes, exactly what I was saying. I recently saw a maid dancing on her madam's bed naked when she wasn't around and acted different when she's there. Wow. I think I've seen something close to that before on the internet, but I don't know if she was dancing. I think she just goes there, wears clothes or something, goes there, cooks what she likes. Very, very funny, petty things. And then when the woman comes, she's all these people that are always well covered up. I mean, I remember now that you said so, I remember my sister's friend had an issue, this kind of issue, and that one used to take wrappers and make it into like a sex toy and be using it to touch herself when the woman is not around, when you're supposed to be babysitting. And it was CCTV that showed her. But my point is, she could have molested that child and nobody knows. And she could have molested that child at a blind spot. And nobody will know, CCTV or no CCTV, because at the end of the day, they are aware. Because no matter how much someone works for you, if the person has stayed 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, they will see the cameras. Now the cameras are not hidden, apart from except you have hidden cameras. But now, so they are now aware of blind spots, like I mentioned earlier. So whatever they want to do, they will shift the baby away from the area where the camera does not have coverage and do what they want to do. You feel me? So yeah, the fact is, may God help us. That's why I said it's God. Everything is left to God. I honestly agree. I honestly agree. An agency has sent a nanny that has AIDS to my aunt. Oh my God. She carries out the test on them before they start working. What if she didn't check? My sister always does this complete health check too. What if she didn't check really, Natalie? Oh wow. AIDS. Oh my God. Oh my God. I actually want to share my experience about CCTV. The truth is that, okay, so Colin, please kindly, or you know what, they're going to cut me off right now. So let me just go off and come back and then you can share your story. That's for solo piece. I don't know if you can hear me, but yes, once I cut off now and come back, I'll allow you to share your story. And any other person that wants to call in, Natalie, Miriam, um, Tem, if you want to call in, you can call in. So, guys, let me just go off and come back so that they don't have to cut me off, if that's okay. Is that okay? Do I get a yes? Can I see people say yes, 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 yes? Oh, yes, I agree. Schools and daycares are very dangerous. Yes. So, can I get a yes? Can I go off and come back if that's fine with you guys? Because today I really, really want people to have, like, I want it to be an interactive session, but okay, cool. Okay, so let me go off then. Thank you. My countdown is already here. So see you guys in 1 minute. Peace. Okay. Okay, so is Solo Peace here, if I got your name correctly, so that you can share your experience. Hello. Hi, Nikki. How are you? Tabi. Good to see you here. Solo Peace, are you here? So that I just call you immediately. Joseph. Hi. Oh, Nat. Nice. Okay. Okay. I'm still trying to learn how to use this live. God will help me, Sha. Nat, are you here? Hi, Joseph. How are you, darling?
Hey, hi.
Yo, my G. How are you? So, which experience have you had? Because I know you've not experienced anything.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
I'm okay. See,
Sit down in
I
one
have
place.
one
Why are
thing
you
to say
turning
about
around? Why are you
this.
turning on your own?
This agency thing, eh? If you
Mm.
leave me, I feel like they should just ban, like, there should be like a license. You should own a license.
Yeah.
You should own like a license that will qualify your company or whatever it is before you guys can run an agency that gives people out to other people. Because there are lots of people that run agencies like this that are not qualified. They just gather people from villages. They bring people from the east, from different places, and they say, oh, these people are nannies, they're available. They just tell them basic stuff, you know, and then that's it. They start working or come and start working for people. They still, like I have a lot of aunties in Lagos, and I don't have personal experiences, but I've heard stories. People come and they just come to steal. Some people will just come and they will steal. That's their agenda. Some people come to do different things, like commit different atrocities. This one that I'm telling you about is like the worst one that's happened. The girl actually had AIDS. She had she had
full-blown AIDS. Yeah.
My aunt usually does tests for like people that come to work for her.
Yes,
because
very, very necessary.
They're going to be feeding them. They're going to be exposed to different things.
God.
You know, some people, they'll be eating, they'll touch the spoon in their mouth to check. Like different things can just happen.
You're talking of touch the spoon. A child might cut herself and that person has to clean it.
At the end, the girl had AIDS.
Or she has to have a knife cut and leaves the knife and somebody else uses the knife. What are we talking about? Wow.
It's crazy. And then when we told the agency this is what happened, they said, oh, they didn't know. And how do you not
know? How can you not know?
They were making excuses, but there was no excuse. I mean, what it means is that some of these agencies, they don't even run tests. They don't run tests.
Which is why I said I feel like some agencies are in on this thing. It's just like these agencies are just built to scam you. Like, I employ anybody, go to their house, see what you can, when you come, you give me cuts. I feel like the agencies that are set up for that reason and solely that reason alone, because this is not adding up. Things that have been happening they are not adding up. They don't make any sense.
You know, so that's why I said it's if you can, the advice that I will give based on this is if you can, try as much as you can, like, unless it's absolutely, I know it's difficult, trust me, but
it's difficult.
Already tell yourself, even before you get married, if it's possible for you to start conditioning your mind already that you're going to try and handle things as much as you can, then when you know that, okay, like, get a nanny when you absolutely cannot help it. Some people are always quick, okay, immediately.
Some people don't wait, they don't want to do anything, it's different.
Go for nanny when you know that, oh, you've exhausted all your other options, then that should be like the last one. Because
and even for those people that don't want to do anything, they can have people that come in day and go. It's not mandatory that somebody sleeps in your house.
Exactly. You know, these people open up a lot of doors that you don't even need opening in your home. Like, they do a lot of things. They do a lot of things. You'll be like, who sent me? Why did I bring this person to my home in the first place?
This thing you're saying now just reminded me, and I don't even know why I didn't remember since. My dad had a friend in the East that lives in the East. He's quite wealthy. And he recently employed, as of then, a new gate man. And ever since he saw the gate man, he kept saying that this guy looks familiar, this guy looks familiar. But he couldn't remember where he knew him from, you know. So at some point, one day he drove into the compound and just remembered. He said, I know you, we went to the same secondary school. You were so and so, and you were very intelligent. You were one of the most intelligent people in my class. And the guy said, maybe it's not me. He said, no, you were so intelligent that I can't forget your face. He said, I know it's you, you know. And then the guy you could tell that he was uneasy. The guy woke up the next morning and saw that the guy was not in his gate man house anymore. He had cleared his things, everything gone. Now, the guy went to do background check and saw that guy is a very, very wealthy guy in the north. He has a house. In fact, he has houses in Kaduna, just all those kind of places. He's doing well. He's not poor. He has wife. He has kids that he's taking care of.
Can you imagine?
So the point is, this whole headsman and Boko Haram thing, he was also like an agent that is sent. I know those people, they are so loyal that no matter how rich you are, whether you're imam or not, as long as you're in that group, they can send you anywhere and you will go there and do it. It's not for low lives. Like these people we see selling veggies on the road in wheelbarrows. They are not necessarily poor. They are not necessarily handicapped like we think or struggling. They are doing well in their states, but they are loyal to that thing they are doing. So he was an informant, and his own place was the East. That place in the East where they sent him to. And there's so many. If you go around the East now, they're everywhere. They know your villages and your places more than you know. They call names, they pronounce it, they speak. So my point is, that was an informant. And when he figured out that, oh, I might have blown my cover, he had to go. Even though the man didn't suspect anything, the man was just wondering why my classmates, he just even wanted to know more. Okay, are you doing well? Do you need help? But the guy
Yeah.
is the one that even blew his cover, because if he had stayed there and done what he needed to do and just pretended like everything was fine, the man won't know and would have continued trying to
Exactly.
help him. But when he left like that, everybody was not like, okay, I need to do my background check. He did his background check and
Exactly.
then now saw that this one has come to kill me. And the man can't say he didn't remember him as a friend. He remembered him, but he didn't care that this is my classmate or somebody I
Yeah.
used to know. So there's almost no, it's like there's no solution. It's
I'm telling
almost
you,
like
it's the best thing is to just avoid, if you can, avoid it as much as you can.
as
And
much as you
then
can.
as much as you can. It should be your last option. Like when you're thinking
As
about nanny,
in,
it should be okay.
yeah,
This is the last. After everything, this is the last
yeah,
thing. You know,
yeah.
it shouldn't be the first option for some people. I'm a woman and I understand chores and how
How
busy
hard
it
it
can be.
is.
I haven't gone through pregnancy. I don't know how it is, but I know that it's hard. But I beg everyone, please, it should be the last thing. Like, because I've been to places where people will be telling me stories about what nannies did to them. There's one that went into that one goes into my aunt's room when she's not around. She will go like that one because she has a lot of bags. Sometimes she doesn't wear a bag for like 2 years. That guy was legit selling her bags. She will go take pictures with the phone that my auntie bought for her. Hey God. With the phone that my auntie bought
Oh, she
for
was
her.
even doing online sales. She was snapper.
You don't
Mad,
understand.
oh.
She opened online shop. She will take picture
I cannot
and
do
sell
that.
the bag. She will sell bags online on her WhatsApp. It was even me. Funny thing is, it was even me. I'll be seeing her status because I took her number so that when I come to the house, I will
Yeah.
call her and she'll come and
If you
open the
need
door for
anything,
me. That's how I got her
exactly.
number. So my auntie doesn't have WhatsApp. She doesn't do WhatsApp. She
Yeah.
just calls you. She wants to call you. So she doesn't even know. My uncle doesn't have her number. You know, because that one doesn't like associating himself with nannies. He doesn't care he doesn't like.
Yeah.
He's not interested. So I'll be seeing bags on this girl's status, and I'll be wondering,
Mad, oh.
why are you selling? What's going on? And I called my auntie. Please, is this your house girl? Is she selling bags? She was like, wait, what's going on? What kind of gist is this? And I said, wait. I now launched my screen.
Oh,
Thing is a true life. It wasn't funny that period though. I said, I now snapped my screen and sent it to my auntie.
Oh,
and like,
God.
are these bags for? Why are these bags on your girl's status? She's selling bags. Like this girl is selling LV bag, 8K. Original LV bag, 8K. 8K. See, my head was busted.
I'm so sorry, but even thrift store.
You see me that day.
Wait. You know what is even amazing me is not even the fact that it's the fact that she does not have fear for your auntie, because that's the number your auntie has. Right? So for you to sell it on that status, it means I know send you like whatever you want to do. Wow.
That day I left my house. I was going straight to her house because this one now I have evidence. I was going to tear her apart. I was going for walk. I just got there. My head is the price.
Oh God.
She's selling the bag. She's selling the bag.
So your problem is not that she's selling. She said that 8K.
When we got there, if you see what I was ready from the stage.
Oh,
I was already like from that. I was already shouting. You know, these people they are terrible. I'm telling you, most of them.
They are very terrible. They are terrible.
You just be regretting. Why did I bring this girl? And this girl is somebody that like she goes to a private school. My auntie made sure that she's going to a private school. School bus, they carry you, go everything that your life that she does for her kids.
That's what amazes me. This same thing happened to my sister.
There's nothing different that she does for her kids.
The mother just wanted my sister to send the girl to school. The girl was going to school. The girl was failing.
Are you serious?
And my sister kept paying for WIAC, paying for everything, and she was failing. House girl, not your own child. Some children, if you fail twice, your parents will dump you. My sister kept paying, doing everything. The moment this girl finished WIAC, her mother and these are people that have been so ungrateful. My sister, the girl has misbehaved. My sister will send her back after months. They'll call my sister, please, we are sorry, take her back. See the way she has added weight. See the way she's looking. She's this, she's that.
Can you imagine?
After the girl finished school, the woman did not even tell my mom. She just called my sister, please, I want my data back tomorrow. No heads up, no nothing, because you feel like she has finished school and she has a certificate. This is someone that they were already checking university for, that were even checking for schools that will probably even be closer to my own house so that she can come from my house and be going to maybe Unilag or anything. Yeah. Do you understand? Or because she can't obviously stay in the hostel, you know. So they were looking for different. So she said she wants fashion school. My sister was looking for everything for this girl. Put her in the same school close to the kids' school in the estate. So private school, no issue. Not one, not two. Is it the one that ran away and went to a boy's house? Someone that's not come to Lagos before, ran to another side of Lagos and went to see man. She now start calling that
It's
she does not know where
crazy.
they are so funny. Then you keep people up that have children that toddlers all night with heart attack over something that they have no idea about, and then when they find you, you start to beg. Why are you begging?
There's really
Why are
no
you
best.
begging? My dear, that your auntie's experience.
I was going to give you another this thing again. That one ran away
Oh yeah,
from
give
home.
me.
That one looked for her 1 week. She was down there. She was down in the next house. She was just in the next house. Her street boyfriend. She was just there. We're looking for her all over Lagos. She was there, just at the back of my house.
Your auntie too?
That's the last time we got a nanny in my house. I told, because that one gave my dad high blood pressure. Next thing they'll say he used somebody's child for money ritual
I'm
or
telling
something.
you.
So that one was just there. She was just in the
Somebody
house
say, why
there.
do you want
And
this
the funny
man
thing
like
is,
man?
and do you know the funny thing? When she started confessing, when we went to tracing her, when we found out with police and everything, she said, that she used to see us walk around looking for her. She would see us be asked, coming out and be looking for her and be asking people, have you seen this girl? Have you seen this girl? And she would just go back and lie down. See, let me tell you something.
Natalie,
Let me tell you, see, if you can avoid nanny,
What?
avoid it. There's half of the time there's no good news.
Wow.
No, it doesn't make sense.
Nadia, I think
The
this one is
boy, the one
from
that she
your
was
heart.
sleeping in the house, will come out and even see us looking for her. He
And
even
greet
tell us,
you.
hey yow, sorry oh. The boy is even telling us sorry oh. The boy that is living in the house with us is telling us sorry oh. Where did she go? Are you joking?
Oh no, Natalie, you just made my day. What?
I beg. I
And you know
gave up
what?
on this
It's
people
so
a
funny.
long
These
time ago.
stories are always so
No
funny.
way.
They sound ridiculous and too funny to be true, but they are true. And then for every
But
time
when
you
it's
hear
happening,
a
it's a
bad
real
story,
issue.
somebody else has a worse story, and you're wondering how they think. My dear, your story. I don't even know what to say. This is not funny, but at the same time, it's hilarious.
Crazy.
Like, see your face, you're talking the passion in your face. I can't even wait to come and visit you when you're pregnant because
firsthand. This thing happened to
yeah.
me. It's not like I heard it. It's somebody that
See,
I
they
know
tried
and
to kill
I
my
was part
siblings.
of
I
it.
mean, I
So
wasn't there, but I know.
during the
Like
time,
proper kill, not story, not one, not two.
during
So
the time when
some
it's
have tried
happening, it's
initiation.
not funny at all.
I remember my
It's
mom
not
saying she
funny
had
at
one
all.
that was a witch and she doesn't eat fish. And they asked her why. She said her mother is queen of the coast, so they don't eat fish in their house. It's like they're eating their siblings or something funny like that. That kind of story. So they said they will cast you out, and after I cast you out, you
It's
will
not
leave my
small
house.
queen of people.
So forget about even the domestic violence or anything they can do to your kids. How about the spiritual angle? You just bring in any spirit into your home or anybody you don't know, they just enter you with a different kind of energy. Things just start to go wrong.
Some
Your
of
kids start to
them,
misbehave. You don't understand what's going on. My
some
dear,
of
there are too
them,
many
I've
angles to
not
it.
had.
Have not had what?
I've not had an experience personally with all these ones that have
Yeah.
spiritual problems. I haven't, but I've had a neighbor that always complained about the house girl sleeping and putting her legs on the wall. That she'll come out in the night to go and pee or something. This girl's leg will be on the wall. Sleeping. She's sleeping, but her legs are on the wall. She'll wake out.
Natalie, your network has to come back. Oh, this story, you must finish it. What? Nat, the network is buffering. Oh, you are killing me today. What? Esther, which one turned to rat in the night, please? You guys, like, I didn't even know if this was going to be. Wow. Somebody said there's one that turns to rat in the night. Are you kidding me? What's really going on? Wow. Guys, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. What? What? Wow. Wow. Where is Nat? Nat, you need to come and finish your story, please. Okay, so this is my period to take calls. I might not finish the topic, but at least let me take a couple of calls, so that Nikki, are you here? I've sent you a request. Are you here? Nat, please come back. Oh, I need you to finish that story. Leg hanging story, because Come back, come back. ASAP, please. Oh, they definitely will give you high blood pressure. This is insane. Oh, wow. 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 All I can say is wow. What? Nikki, I'm trying to call you. I see your request, but I'm trying to call you, and every time I try to call you, it's not going. Why? I don't know what's going on. No. So sorry. Nats, I'm trying to call you back. Says you're unable to join. So I guess it's your network. So guys, I'm still going to wait for you guys to place some calls and so that I can continue talking. But while we're waiting for the calls, what do you think can be done? What do you think is the preventive measure to be taken when it comes to domestic staff? Is it the same, allow them come work for hours and go home, or do background check? But no matter how much background check you do, can you actually get it right every time, like perfectly? So what do you suggest are the measures you can take to get a good domestic staff, if it's even possible to get a good domestic staff? Or do you just pray, which is always my first option, pray and leave it to God and let God direct you or bring somebody your way? But for other people, what do you think can be done? What do you think can be done about it? Nat, are you here? Okay, you're back. Oh yeah, leg hanging. Let's go. Nat, what's wrong with your network now? Nat, can you hear me? Hope it's not the girl that is doing you like this. She does not want you to tell her story. Wow, network is not allowing you. Network is not allowing you. I'm so sorry. You can probably type, you can type if that's okay with you. So yeah, King Nat, Nat, your people are here. So if you are trying to call, can you just tell me so I can put you on? You know, um, if you're trying to call in, please let me know so that I can put you on. If you want to share your experiences with domestic staff, for those that are just coming and probably don't know what we're talking about domestic staff and how they can be, you know, and the experiences we've had with them. So if you want to share your experience, please feel free to call. Uh, I'm trying to find people that were calling in. I can't find them anymore. I don't know what's going on. Okay, okay, okay. So, like I was asking, you guys should tell me what you think can be done. Somebody is your biggest fan now. Come and say hi to your fan. Forget maids. They will give you high blood pressure. I will do my chores myself. Thank you for saying this. Stiz. Stiz is a guy and is my friend. So that being said, I'm saying this because men have a huge role to play in this. Because people say chores are for women, cooking is for a woman, blah 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 blah. As long as you can eat, as long as you can sleep, as long as you want that something nice, you want your house to look nice, you should be able to clean up your house yourself. So don't come and say you married a wife and your wife, especially if she's pregnant and because of all these nanny issues, a man, so you should know that there are a lot of nanny issues. You don't want problems, whether spiritual, whether physical. You don't want problems, you know. So if you're going to agree to that, you guys need to sit down and draw out a a a timetable on how you're going to clean your homes and all that. Because the woman can't do everything because she's going to have kids, she's going to be pregnant. Who's going to be doing that when she's pregnant? Or are you going to bring in somebody to do it and then go back? 5 minutes is enough for someone to steal or do whatever they want to do in your home. It's not about whether they come and sleep or whether they come and live in. We need to always recognize that fact that 1 minute is enough for anybody to do what they want to do or plan to do to you. So let's be very, very careful and be sensitive to that as well. So men, please, you need to back up your wives. You need to support them. If they say they don't want nannies, some might not even have any experience. It might just be their instinct. If they say they don't want, please understand or try to sit them down and know why. And if they insist, do not force them to have nannies. Let them do the chores they can do and you support them in the way you can. In fact, you have to support them, not if you can. You have to do something. They can't do it all. The chores are not for them. They don't live in that house alone, you know. So then you have a very, very huge role to play in this, honestly. Natalie said, yeah, she later said she was from the waters and was recruiting young girls to her kingdom. It sounds funny, but it was very real at the time. Oh, wow. Onyeka, hi. If you want to call, please send. Okay, Nikki, I've been trying to call you. I don't know what's going on. It says you're unable to join, but you keep requesting, so I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Somebody else is trying to call. Please, can you try and call again? The request, I can't find it anymore. Kindly try to call so that I can bring you in, because I don't know. I can't just call you if you don't want to be called. So you have to call me so that I will know that you're interested in coming on to share your experience. Onyeka, Fortune Ogbonna, do you want to share something with us? Okay, let's see if Nike, I'm so sorry. Every time I try to call you, it keeps saying you cannot go live. So let me call somebody else and see if it's possible. Charles, I'm trying to call you so you can come in. Not okay, we will discuss later.
Yeah, hello, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, my name is Ozema calling from Indonesia.
Okay,
Yeah, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, I was listening to you to the to the program
Okay.
concerning marriage or nanny, whatever. Yeah, sometimes sometimes it's good to have them, but in the other way around, bringing them into your house, you have to be careful. But the best of it is, if it's possible for you, you don't need to bring nanny to your house because of these all these spiritual things that are going on in the world now. Okay, when I was growing up, we have about because my dad is a businessman, so we have like 10 people in my house. But one particular person in my house, my auntie, my mom told us that time I was about 2 or 3 years old, that she always beat my elder sister, using all types of objects to beat her. So my mom noticed it, and she sent her away. And you know, all these things can happen, that they can even give your child poison or whatever.
Yeah.
You don't know. Yeah. I saw one video last year where a house girl was feeding a small child with excreta. You could imagine that. So if it's possible for parents, bring out, this child is your child, that's your family, that child is your future. Bring out your time. Though it's going to be stressful, but at least try to, know how to manage your family. Program yourself, because it's very important. I'm single, I'm not married though, but I know the pains of losing a child.
Okay, so when you get married, are you going to be willing to do these things for your wife, like the chores around the house?
See, me, my daddy, even up till now, I can speak for my daddy. He's 75 now. Up till now, my daddy sweeps the house. He can't cook anyway, but he can do every form of house chores, and I like doing it.
Okay.
I can do it for my wife. Yes.
Okay.
Because that's why it's important to marry somebody that you can accommodate. Somebody that you love, somebody that if he asks you to do something for him or
You
her,
can do it.
you're not going to see it as if
At
he
work.
or she is trying to give you burden. I know a lady in Abuja those days. She happened to be a sister. She had a girl and nanny in her house. She gave birth to twins. That small girl shocked the twins. I'm telling you what I know very well. The little girl of under 15 of that time.
And what was her reason for shooting them?
No, I mean, not shooting. She gave those kids to their kingdom.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. This is what I know. I know the small girl. I know the lady. I know the husband. there is no form of deliverance we did to the girl, but we could not, in fact, her own was so tough. The lady sent her away. So things are happening. We need to educate. People need to know the truth. Even if you want to have them in your house, you have to be very careful. You have to be very spiritual. You don't have to sleep and sleep and sleep. Like someone was telling me that, yeah. Let me be honest with you. Let me be honest with you. The spiritual controls the physical.
Definitely.
Are you getting me now?
Definitely, I agree.
I am highly spiritual. I know what I'm telling you. I'm highly spiritual. The spiritual controls the physical. Sometimes there are certain things you will be looking at. You think that thing is just a normal thing.
Yeah.
There is something behind it. So most of the times it's women that always want to bring the nanny. When they're pregnant, the nanny will carry one of their legs off. This one, no. If you are not spiritual, and I'm sorry, I'm trying.
No. Trust me, you are making a great point. Yeah.
Yes. Let me tell you, it's important if you want to do anything like bringing nanny to your house, you have to be spiritual. You don't know, even if you make findings, you go to a prophet or prophetess you don't know that person very well.
Yeah.
You could know the parents that they are good. That the parents of this person is good does not mean that the child is good.
Yeah.
You have individual differences. You have individual differences. So it's important. If you want to bring nanny to your house, you have to prepare yourself. You have to be prayerful. You have to do spiritual and physical assessment. It's not when you just relax. Someone was telling me that her 1-year-old child do sleep with the nanny. My child will be sleeping with the nanny. Do I marry that nanny or I married you to be my wife? So let's think right.
Oh my God.
I get it now. So we have to understand the way it goes. It's important that you this is one thing. Before you talk about bringing nanny to your house, you have to discuss with your husband, with your spouse, to be sure that he or she is ready. Because sometimes this thing goes the other way. It's either they give your child urine to drink, or they will give her contaminated food to eat, or they will feed her with excreta, or they will molest that child. They will slap her, punch her or him. And it's too bad to beat a little child at tender age. The nerves that goes to the ear and nerve that goes to the eyes and every other thing is dangerous. So, well, I believe that through these all these
Points made,
briefing
yeah.
we are giving, people will understand the importance.
I agree with you.
Yeah, they train your own child. I will train my own.
Abi, do your own, Najima. Exactly.
Me, I grew up in a house where we are only 5. I know how to cook. All of us knows how to cook. So, train your own child the way you want to train him. Let him or her stay with their parents and you don't have to bring people to come and disturb your home. Unless you can take you can give what it takes. Are you getting me now?
I get you totally.
You have the spiritual power to contend with all those spiritual things. You can stand your ground. But if not, they're easy.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for the program. Thanks for the
You're welcome. Thank you for watching.
Take care.
All right.
Bye.
Onyeka, sorry, you asked for the topic. Topic is security. Like, what do you do? And then security towards your domestic staff, most especially, or colleagues and stuff. That's the topic. We're talking about domestic staff and all the harms they have done to people. Have they done more harm than good? Actually, what have they done? And people have been calling in to say their experiences. I think only one person has said that they've had a good experience with their domestic staff. So we're asking people their experiences. You can call in and share your experiences. Has your experience been good with domestic staff, or has it been bad, or has it been both? So that's the topic. If you ask the topic, that's the topic. Shegun. So yeah, some wives no go agree. Them won't answer, madam. They don't want me. Please, I don't know what to say to you, because sometimes it's not all about madam. It's all about the stress. Women go through a lot. Trust me. Women go through a whole lot, from pregnancy to childbirth. Your life will never remain the same once you have a baby. That's the truth about the matter. Whether you have domestic staff or not, it can't be the same. you know. So, and the truth is, in the society we are, a lot of work is put on the woman. So it's not, I don't think, I know some people can be this silly to have it be about being called madam, but I don't think that's really my issue in this life, to be called madam. It's about how much chores, how much things you have to do. And for people who are proper career women, you can't say, yes, I agree to dedicating a couple of years and stepping back from business or work to take care of your children. I agree. But at the end of the day, you have your life, you have your passion, you have so many things that you want to achieve in your life. And kids are a blessing, not a curse. You can achieve them and still take care of your kids if possible. Do you understand? So my point is, Stiz, you this point you said is true, but only for silly people. I'm sorry, because if that's what a woman wants to have a maid for, just to be in charge of somebody, then I don't think she's thinking at all. I don't think she's in her right mind. You know. So yeah, that's my take on that. I don't feel that that's why they want this. I feel like everybody has a breaking point. It gets to a point where you can't do some things anymore on your own or some chores, and so you have to have someone help you. If you have siblings that are married or even just staying on their own, sometimes you go to help them with the baby. I have done that a couple of times. In fact, a lot in the last 10 years. You know, so you see what they do. Even you as the auntie, you carry the baby for maybe 1 hour or 4 hours, or just take care of the child or babysit for them to go out, and you're tired. Then imagine them sitting down there day in, day out, taking care of the baby morning to night, having to try and do business, having to cook, having to clean, having to take care of the husband, having to answer to his needs, and all of that. It's not easy. As an auntie, you can't tell me, or an uncle, you can't tell me that you haven't gotten exhausted from babysitting. And that's one day, or maybe a week, or a couple of hours. Now, this is their daily life. So my point is, it's not easy, but we have to try. We have to try. We have to try. We have to try. You know, and that's why it's good to train your child so that they're children, but train them, let them know some things quickly so that they grow. So that the more they grow, the older ones can help you with the younger ones, and then it's not new to them or it's not short to them, because they need to know these things. They really do need to know these things. It's very important. Very important. So that being said, finally, I just want to ask, what do you think should be the punishment for domestic staff when they are caught? I, for one, like I said last week when we were talking about rape, I feel like any girl that accuses a guy falsely or wrongly or deliberately says that someone raped her and didn't rape her, whatever sentence that was given to that guy or was going to be given to the guy should be given to the girl. Exactly, nothing less, if possible more, because you've dented his image and in fact, people might never get to hear the truth. Do you understand? So you've killed somebody already like that. So whatever punishment you were supposed to give the person before, you should give it to this person now. So I feel the same way for this. If you catch a domestic staff trying to kill you, I'm not a killer, but please, if maybe you should, in fact, I don't even know what to, maybe you should give them to the police, or police cannot do anything in Nigeria. I'm sorry, they won't even investigate. They'll just leave them, and if they bring the amount of money they're asking for, it might be 5,000 naira, and they'll bail them out. So my point is, if you are very spiritual and you know what would Jesus do, you might probably have to let go and back it up with prayers. But if you find somebody beating your child, molesting your child, please beat them back. Take stick with nail, beat them back. I'm sorry, because you can't do that to me and then tell me sorry and go scot-free. Not to my child. You can't steal from me. I mean, stealing is probably very easy because you might have to forgive stealing. Where can they get the money to give you back, or the things they stole to give you back? But when it comes to things that are hard, trying to kill somebody, trying to beat up somebody, trying to molest my child, trying to do things to my child for no reason, you should get a taste of your medicine. Maybe not as bad, but at least you should know how it feels like. Because the truth is, I've noticed if you watch a lot of movies or you see people that are killers or people that like to be very violent, they can't take it. Any small thing that is done to them, you see the way they react. They actually can't take what they dish out. So sometimes you need to give somebody or some people a taste of their medicine so they understand that when you do stuff in life, there are consequences. And sometimes the consequences come back to you and they pay you in your own coin exactly the same way you do it to people. So when people have that at the back of their heads, that you know what, if I rape this girl, the punishment is death. Or if I accuse this guy falsely, the punishment is 30 years in jail. Or if I do things, when people know that there's a consequence for every single thing they do, it starts to sit in their heads and they start to think about it that, okay, maybe I need to do better, maybe I need to do right, and all of those things, you know. So that being said, we've come to the end of today's show. Thank you for staying and thank you for contributing. See you guys again by 8 p.m. And thank you all for sharing your stories. Thank you, Nat. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, NCIB. Thank you for everybody that came on to share their story. Thank you. I'm so sorry for the people that I couldn't call. I tried to call Nick a couple of times. I tried to call you, please, a couple of times, and it wasn't just going through. Every time I try to call, it says unable to connect. Chindanu, how are you? Thank you for being here. Thank you guys for staying tuned and joining in and sharing your experiences via calls, via messages. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'll see you again during the week. Bye.